It's WrestleMania. That comes on Saturday and Sunday, the two ones. It's two all the time now. And I kind of like it. Get to take the weekend off, sit down, watch wrestling. But hey, it's prediction time. Let's see who we think is going to win. I'm here. I'm Andrew. He's DA Wrestling, Canadian podcast YouTube guys, right? With our friend Doug, also Canadian YouTube guys, podcast guy.
I'm alive.
Yeah, he's here. This is WrestleMania, guys. 41 predictions. Ooh,
I will say though, is it kind of odd that it's on Easter weekend?
sure is. But let's get to some predictions, and we're going to talk about that in a second, too, because that's kind of comedy. But anyway, DA Wrestling, Canadian guys, let's get at her. All right, it's predictions time. It is WrestleMania 41, biggest event, the Super Bowl of wrestling, and it's a hell of a time. Yeah, it's called falls on Easter this year, so I guess a lot of people will be eating turkey dinner or ham or whatever the hell they usually eat on Easter and watching WrestleMania. And for those who are in
I'm
Vegas,
pushing my wife to leave Oakville by like 6.
probably the best idea you could think of.
Like Sunday, I'm doing Oakville for a family dinner, and yeah, I'm gonna try and push her like 6:30 at the latest.
Yeah, you want to get home for this, especially night two, because I feel night two is like the better card, I guess. But
I don't know. Night one's shaping up pretty well. Let's talk about it.
we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna go night one, then we're gonna go night two on our predictions here.
Now, that
Before we
being
get started,
said, the way that we talk about these is not obviously the final match order. Things can change.
things can change. It can be changed. But anyway, before we get into this, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below. Make sure you follow us on Podbean, YouTube, right? Spotify, right? Small click for you, big click for us. Give us a little follow there, right? Give us a rating. Just tell us how you feel. What are we doing? How are we doing anything wrong? What can you change? Give us know. Comments, everything, always accepted. Never, never not accepted. Let's get going on this. So, night one. This is in no particular order, except for the last match. We will do that one last.
All right.
Probably the best course scenario. But
Let's
we're going to start off with night one, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Chad Gable. Let's just call him that because that's exactly who it is.
Rey Mysterio. And like literally that's all I'm going to say about it is because like this does not interest me in the slightest.
No, as I said a few weeks ago, or I said about a week ago on the show, I have no interest in it at all. I understand you give Rey Mysterio a match due to the fact that it is Rey Mysterio, and acceptable. But at the same time, too, I don't think Rey needs to be on the card. You could have done somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You really could have. You could have put. I know you could have put Randy. Well, we haven't got that for yet. Maybe you could have put the newly, if you wanted, Ray Phoenix on there, or anybody else, Carmelo Hayes, or any of those things.
Well, I mean, just for the fact it's a Raw match, like I mean, you have Karrion Kross who's been heating up. You have Ludwig Kaiser even.
Yeah, you could have done Kaiser versus Cross for all I care.
Kaiser has had a hell of a 2024.
Yeah. So
and
there's lots of options they could have done other than Rey Mysterio, in my opinion. And I'm sure it sounds like your opinion as well. But for argument's sake here, we're gonna go
Rey Mysterio.
I'm going Rey Mysterio too. I don't see this. I see an unmasking happening, but that's basically it.
Yeah.
Number 2. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. This is an interesting one. I kind of like. I mean, here following a little bit on Naomi's her promos that she's been doing, all this stuff. I kind of like where this is going. I just don't feel she's evil enough. That being said, though, I think Jade Cargill is going to win this match without really anything else happening there. I hope it continue with Naomi's thing and some kind of revenge thing going on. But after that, I don't see Naomi winning this at all. I see Cargill winning this.
So, I like my history, right?
Yeah.
How well do you know WrestleMania 17?
I just watched it recently.
Okay. So you remember that match between China and Ivory?
Yes.
That's essentially what's going to happen with Jade Cargill and Naomi. Jade Cargill playing the role of China and Naomi playing the role of Ivory.
So you're taking Cargill.
I am taking Jade Cargill by a squash.
Fair enough. All right. Tag team title time. You called it a while back, like several months back. War Raiders versus the New Day. Is this where they crown the New Day here? Because I know that's what you said several months ago, that New Day is going to win the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Now, obviously, the War Raiders have held those titles now for a few months.
I'm okay with them ending the reign,
for the most part,
because this is where you need to put the titles on the New Day, because then you can then begin to further enhance this newer side of the New Day, where it's like, oh, see, we were right. We stopped kissing babies, shaking hands, and we got our titles back.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think the way to complete this as well, I agree with you on this one too. I'm going with the New Day as well. I think it's a complete way for the New Day to complete the turn, in a sense, right? I don't feel it's completed until that, because they need to go on a nice heel run where they literally go back to cheating all the time to win.
Right. And they're cutting killer promos too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, when they're allowed to talk anyway.
That's true. All right. I think we both know we're going to this one here. U.S. title matchup. L.A. Knight versus the werewolf, Jacob Fatu. It's Fatu.
Another thing that I have been saying for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu is going to win the U.S. title at WrestleMania.
By far. He's like, I think he's going to dismantle LA Knight.
And I think in the wake of this, I think you're going to see LA Knight kind of move up to that heavyweight title.
I think that's probably the best case scenario too. He's held the U.S. title now twice, right? I think it's best if you move into that title picture. You don't have the tribal chief at the top there anymore with the title anymore. You don't need to worry about him losing to the tribal chief.
But I'll get to him in a minute.
What's that?
I'll get to him in a minute.
Oh, we'll get to him in a bit soon. Yeah. So I think, just like you do, I think Fatu's going to win. I don't see any. There's no way Fatu's not going to win this. Unless Solo interferes and screws him.
That's true, but I think that's the only way that LA Knight walks out.
Yeah, because I don't think Tama Tonga's going to do it in the slightest.
No. But I would argue that Jacob is probably, pardon me, the fastest rising star on SmackDown.
He's definitely my favorite.
He's one of mine. And I think that you can further also that kind of Jacob Solo Tama storyline.
Yeah.
By having Jacob get that piece of hardware, and then he can be like, and then Solo can try and boss him around and be like, and Jacob be like, look, I got hardware, you don't.
True.
You can't tell me shit.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm leaving that.
There we go. Next match. Women's SmackDown title. I was going to call that because I never remember what it's really called anymore. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. So I stated last week on SmackDown, I have a recap. This probably the best segment I've seen from Charlotte and Tiffany. Yes, I know it's where Charlotte beat the crap out of Tiffany, but it is probably the one I like the most. Yes, it got physical. Other than that, up to that point, to me, it was very drag on, and I just think it's lost its luster, whereas this kind of revigorated it for me. I've been historically a fan of Charlotte Flair here. I like her in a lot of ways, but I find at this point in time now, Charlotte doesn't necessarily need the title. Do I think she's going to put the title on her? Oh, I sure hope not. At least not right now. I think Tiffany Stratton needs to win more than anything else. So I'm going to take Tiffany Stratton to win this. Because I don't think...
You and I are on very much the same wavelength here, and I think it's going to be for most of this.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do see a scenario where Charlotte walks out with this, But I think that Tiffany needs it more.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
think that a win for Tiffany does more than Charlotte winning championship number 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah, like I think, like I said, I don't. I think Tiffany needs it more. I could see a scenario where Charlotte wins too. I'm not gonna say I would be upset by it. I'd be maybe a little disappointed slightly, but I think
Oh, it would piss me off.
Tiffany needs this a lot more than Charlotte does.
I
Charlotte
agree.
doesn't need the title at all. She doesn't need it at all. She would maybe make the
Charlotte could
title
go the
more.
rest of her career just putting people over, and
Yeah,
like Charlotte doesn't need any more titles.
no, she doesn't.
I mean, she'll get a few down the line,
Absolutely, she will.
but I don't like that's the thing. Like Charlotte is a big enough star, you can just kind of use her in that John Cena role
Absolutely,
where like Cena's spent the last 5 years putting people over.
as he yeah, and that's
You know what I
great.
mean?
Absolutely, 100% agree with you, Alex.
So so yeah, I mean, I guess my official pick would be Tiffy,
Yep.
but it wouldn't shock me if Charlotte wins. It'll piss me off, but it
Yeah,
won't
like
shock me.
absolutely. I'm in the same boat as you. All right,
Yeah.
Jey Uso versus Gunther. So this got
Jay.
really more personal over the
Jay.
past couple weeks. And it's definitely Jey Uso at this point.
Um
I mean, I wouldn't
hold
be.
on.
I mean,
Before you go, hold on.
yeah,
I just want to point out
yeah.
that that promo that he cut, not this past Monday,
The one before that.
the you know the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay, last Monday.
Yeah.
That hands down is the best promo of Jey Uso's career. Now, that being said, he's also come out in media this week
Yep.
saying he's only got a couple of years left.
Yeah.
He's going to be 40 in August, and he can feel the game catching up to him.
Yeah.
So I think this is the perfect time to pull the trigger on Jay,
Yeah.
capitalize on the movement, much like you did with Daniel Bryan
Yep.
way back when, much like you did with, there's another one I'm missing, Cody
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
yeah. Like when you look at it too, the age difference. Yeah. Gunther too, also on the current on the Ariel Hawaii show that he did. He's like, for him, he's 34 years old. He said he is. It's like
Mm.
Gunther's got a lot of years left. I'm sure they're gonna give him another title run down the line anyway.
Oh, he'll be champion again.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
thing is, the and I've told you this both off air and on air. Have Jey Uso win this, because then come next year,
Yep.
you can even have Gunther win the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely.
I'm
Because
not
he's come
fantasy
close the past
booking.
couple years.
I'm not
Oh yeah.
saying that that's what's going to happen, but
Yep.
if you have Gunther win the Royal Rumble, then you could start telling the story of, oh, well, his last two WrestleManias, he's lost the Intercontinental title and the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Is he scared of the big stage?
That's true. You do
And you
that.
can kind of, start to plant those seeds of doubt and make that monster of Gunther look a little beatable,
Yeah.
where you can start to sow those seeds of doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that for a multitude of reasons, I think Jay walks out with the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, I think at this point too, I have a scenario. I can see a scenario too where Gunther does win, but I think at this
Same.
point in time right now, I think it's Jey Uso's going to win. It's Jey Uso's title to lose, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Right. So I think Jey Uso's going to win. A lot of things that you said too, it makes a lot more it like sense too. So to me, you capitalize on everything right now, like they did with Daniel Bryan. All right, WrestleMania 30. You go from there.
Yeah.
No. Let's move on to the main event now. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
God,
So
this
many things
fucking
here.
match.
I'm going to go ahead and say this first. I'll
Go
go
ahead,
first.
buddy. Yeah, go ahead.
I would have said CM Punk,
Mhm.
but just over the past couple weeks, watching, being attentive to this, picking Rollins. I think Rollins walks out the winner and walks out with Heyman. I think Rollins is the. I think Seth Rollins is the next Heyman guy, and I think you're going to see Seth go on a tear here. I think you're going to have see him get the title. I think he's going to beat Jey Uso down the line for that title and do another run. I'm thinking Seth Rollins
Okay.
to win this match because I think Seth right now, Punk is at that point now where he doesn't really need the win. It's nice to see he win. He'll get the win. Roman doesn't need it in the slightest, right? Seth to me, the way his character arc right now is going, the fact they took away the Seth freaking Rollins part, the fact they just goes back to Seth Rollins, revolutionary, all that stuff there, is leading me back to a heel turn. And I think Paul's going to go with him. Comment down
All
below if you
right.
think I'm absolutely insane. Because I kind of am.
All right. Well, you're about to hate me.
Sure, go ahead.
Because here's how I see this playing out.
Sure.
My pick's going to be Roman,
Okay.
but here's why.
All right.
Seth and Punk are going to be too fixated with each other.
Yep.
Remember, they're still in the middle of a blood feud, bro. Okay?
Okay.
They're going to be too consumed with each other. And Roman is going to kind of pick the bones type deal. It's probably going to happen in a way of like Seth stomps Punk and then Roman spears Seth,
Could be that.
right? Or Roman just throws Seth out of the ring and steals the pin. But to your point, Paul Heyman's the wild card here.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman is definitely the wild card here. But also Roman himself said he's got probably 3 or 4 years, maybe 3 years left.
Yeah. Roman has said publicly recently in a recent interview that he is probably
Like
by
this week,
2026 will be his last Royal Rumble. Sorry, last WrestleMania, he said. So he's going to,
26 or 27.
yeah.
He
So
said by
he's,
one of those two,
yeah.
because his contract's at the end of this year,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Yeah.
And he said after that, he's got about a year or two left
Yeah. So,
before he takes a less physical form of entertainment, was the quote.
following Cousin Rock.
But again, I think that he wants the title back. I don't know if you've seen him on Pat McAfee this
Oh,
afternoon.
yeah. I'm sure he does want the title back.
He wants that title back. Um, and I think he's going to have to earn it.
Yeah.
So I think a good start for him would be winning this triple threat match.
We're going to wait and see as we find out for night one.
Of course, of course.
Moving on to night number 2.
Can I bounce a theory off you before we move to night 2?
Sure.
My pick's not changing. It's still Roman.
That's fine.
But I'm going to shout out our friend of the show, Corey, for
Okay.
a sec. Corey from Hot Lanham.
Yep.
He shoots me a message the other day, and he says, what if Seth joins The Rock and John Cena?
It's a possibility.
Like, also,
I've heard that theory
one
out there too.
one theory I saw on TikTok was Jey Uso joining them.
I haven't seen that one.
I have. If I find it again, I'll send it to you.
Sure.
But do you see a third member joining The Rock and Cena?
I think you have to see The Rock more to maybe give me a better answer on that one. Give you a better answer on that one.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, that's
Throw
good.
it. And you know what? I'm looking right at you, listener. If you think that Seth or Jay or even someone else is going to join Cena and Rock, let us know in the comments below.
Absolutely.
Now, night 2.
Number 2. We are going to go to start AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
AJ Styles.
Yeah, I think Styles will win too. I don't
He
feel. I
needs
don't
it.
see. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think.
He needs it.
I think Styles is gonna win. I don't see Paul winning it all. I mean, Paul's kind of there just to make people kind of look.
Anytime that I get to see Logan Paul get his ass kicked, I'm there for it.
Fair enough. And
Speaking
bottom
of the
line
Paul,
was
hold on. Speaking of the Pauls, I don't want to go too far off topic, but
okay.
I feel this is worth mentioning. Jake Paul's got his next fight.
Yeah, who's fighting?
He's fighting uh, Jesus or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the former middleweight champion. He
After what
was the
happened
middleweight
that
champion like in 2011, 2012, but
after what
yes,
happened in that Tyson debacle, I don't trust the thing that thing goes through anymore.
I really hope that Chavez is only 39.
I still don't after that debacle.
I
Anyway,
hope Chavez just cleans his clock. Anyways,
we'll find
yeah.
out.
So
Uh,
AJ Styles.
all right. I also taking AJ Styles too. I don't see Logan Paul winning at all. Simple as that. I don't need to give a reason because it's just AJ Styles.
Yep.
All right, moving on to the best troll on the internet, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. This was a little bit hard to pick. I'm gonna take Drew because I think Drew is just
I think this is where Drew finally gets a big win here.
yeah.
I love Priest.
Yes, I think I like Priest as well. He's really grown on me, but I
Yeah.
think Drew McIntyre to me is just hilarious. Makes me
Well,
laugh my
I
ass.
mean, character work aside, I just think if you look at like how many times can this guy eat a pin and it not affect him,
Yeah, like it's
right?
gonna come to the point where
Like
yes,
he's got
he's
to pick
gonna
up a win here.
yeah, I think
And he doesn't have to win this whole feud.
no. You can have they'll probably run this feud back probably another time at Backlash.
They'll probably do it at Backlash, and if there's enough interest, they'll do a trilogy in
Yep,
May or in June, sorry.
for sure.
But where you can have Priest get his win back, which is fine. But I think that McIntyre needs this one.
Fair. I think Drew's gonna win too.
Yeah.
Probably give my reason. IC title. Braun
Oh,
Breaker
that fatal
versus
four way.
Penta versus Dirty Dom versus Finn Balor.
Can I
I
start this one?
you go ahead.
Okay. So
Let's see if you can
I
guess
think
who I'm guessing taking.
can see one of two
Cobra.
things happening.
Yes.
One of two things are going to happen. Either one, Braun Breaker destroys everybody and just walks out.
It's a good possibility.
Or two, the most realistic scenario,
Sure.
Dom turns on Finn. We're going to see the end of the Judgment Day,
Okay.
but Dom is going to win the Intercontinental title by pinning Finn Balor. And quite frankly, the Judgment Day has killed any momentum that Finn Balor ever had. But what Dom has done, especially the last 6 months, I think it's a good time to pull the trigger on him. And I know you're thinking Penta.
No, I was thinking I was gonna take Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, were you actually?
No.
For the
I
exact
think
same
I
reason I
a
am?
lot of reasons too. I don't know if he's gonna pin Balor. I don't want to go that far to say it, but I think Dominic Mysterio is gonna win. I think it's a possibility that Finn Balor gets. I think Penta's gonna eat the pin here. I don't think they're gonna have Breaker eat the pin. I think unfortunately Penta's gonna take the pin, right? But I think it's gonna be. I think Dom is gonna push Balor out of the way after Breaker does the dirty work and Balor does the dirty work, and Dom's gonna get the pin that way.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But again, I think this, if you look at everything that's been going on Raw,
Yeah.
I think all roads lead to this being the end of the Judgment
Oh,
Day.
I think that's a sure thing for sure too.
Because there's still no timetable on JD coming back.
Yeah, he might be able, and we don't know really. Well, there was talk
Carlito's
about
just kind
Aleister
of
Black. There
there.
was talk about Aleister Black coming when he came back going to Raw, but the way it looks of it now, he's going more on SmackDown.
Yeah, especially if he's the one that they're debuting next week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the
Or apparently what came over the wire, from what I understand, is that Randy Orton has a challenge match at
he
Mania.
has an
That
open
could be,
challenge. I wanted to get into that next,
yeah.
actually.
Well, let's get into that now too. Before I move on, before we do that. So Randy Orton was announced on SmackDown that he's going to open challenge match. Now, I said the possibility of it being Aleister Black.
I think that would make for a cool reaction,
Yeah.
but I
Or,
think, hold on.
okay, go
I
ahead.
think that
Speak,
this
speak.
could, I think that this could, like, you could use it like you did with Seth to bring Cody back
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago,
Yep.
3 years ago. Sorry, 3 years ago. You can do it that way,
Mm-hmm.
but something tells me that this is just going to be one of those segments where he's going to get a bunch of troll opponents and he's just going to RKO a bunch of people. And then, like, I don't know, fucking Austin is going to come out or some shit like that. This has shenanigans written all over it.
Or, if you want to go there too, the rumors are true. They might be.
Austin and Orton.
No. Jeff Cobb has left New Japan Pro Wrestling. There is talk that he is going to go to WWE. What if it's Jeff Cobb?
His last match in Japan
Yeah.
is actually Saturday night. So,
Or his match is until
if
Sunday.
Sunday,
It's a
um,
possibility it could be Jeff Cobb
it's
or Black.
it's doable. I mean,
It's
AEW
doable.
had listen, AEW had Konosuke Takeshita go work Secure Genesis and then make it back for Dynasty,
Yeah.
right?
AJ Styles did it too. He did a match and then flew over to face Finn Balor. Remember that whole thing with the Fiend when it's supposed to be Bray Wyatt?
Oh my god, that whole
That?
you and I have to go back and watch that show
It's on
just
Netflix.
so I just so we can talk about how cursed that show is.
But yeah, we have that you can do. Uh,
Um,
but I'm going to stick with Black or possibly Jeff Cobb. I think it's more Black than anything else. Cobb's not a sure thing yet. Although I heard Miro resigned though too. It could be Miro.
could be a Rusev deal.
And to be honest with you too, I don't. And to be honest with you, Orton could afford the loss.
Actually,
Orton doesn't need the win, so you could easily
I
have
think
somebody
I
come in
think
there
I
and take
made my
over.
mind up.
Who?
You know who's going to answer that challenge?
Who?
Ray Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, it could be Ray Phoenix too. Yeah,
He doesn't have a match for WrestleMania, but he's already debuted.
yeah. At the same time, but same
So,
too. Orton could take the pin. It doesn't matter who he faces. He could take the pin,
well, that's the thing. If it's Ray Phoenix, it's going to be some crazy aerial move into an RKO.
which would be cool.
We all know it's coming,
Yeah, at some point.
but it'll be fun.
That's your bonus one. Moving on to Bailey versus Burley and Lyra Valkyria versus the tag team champions of Morgan and Rachel and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, if
Isn't
you listen,
Lyra still the Intercontinental
yes,
Champion?
yes, they was determined on Raw. Now, if any of you listen to the Pro Predictions episode on NXT, right? Corey Jade, right, as well as Roxanne Perez are in the tag team fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender for the women's tag team titles as Stand Deliver. That goes on in exactly 12 or 13 hours from now.
Oh yeah, that's
I
tomorrow
said,
afternoon, isn't it?
yeah, I said it's a possibility. I took Corey Jade and Roxanne to win because I think it's a possibility that Bailey and Lyra Valkyria win those tag team titles and then move on. I'm not too sure.
That makes sense because then you can further the Bailey Roxanne Perez thing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm taking. I'm taking Bailey and Lyra to win that.
Okay, that's I'll go with you there.
Okay. All right. Triple threat women's title match. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Mommy. As normally I would take Mommy on this one because I love Rhea Ripley for a lot of reasons. Some I can say in person, some I keep to myself because let's be honest, anything not to myself is probably not a good thing.
You need to keep that filter on.
Absolutely, but I'm taking Io Sky on this one. I think Io is going to win this. The way they've played the whole thing out, I think Io Sky is the one that wins this match, and she walks
And
out
I
and take with the title as she walked in with it. She lost last year.
I think you're right, and it's for one reason only. Remember how I was saying with the other triple threat match on the card?
Yep.
How two people are going to be too obsessed
Belair
with
and
each other?
Belair and Ripley are going to fight each other a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's that's what's going to happen. I think that it's going to be one of those things where, you know, uh, Rhea's going to hit a Riptide or Bianca's going to hit a KOD, but Io Sky's going to be on the top rope and hit an over the moon salt to break up the pin and then pin whoever's there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really cool creative finish.
It
But
is.
yeah, I'm taking Io as well.
Cool. We're pretty much we're going mano a mano here. It's like the tiebreakers here coming between. Yeah, okay. All right. John Cena, Cody Rhodes. After what I saw tonight on SmackDown, John's winning. But my other theory, I'm going to say this right now. If you listen to the show and watch the show, people were booing Cody when he spoke as well. It is a good possibility, and it's out there too, that Cody Rhodes is that it does a turn on John Cena. And Cody does win, and not John, and Cody turns heel in the process. It's a possibility. I'm going to take John. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking Cody. I'm going to take Cody to win. Let the
Okay,
heel
I'm
turn.
gonna take John only
Okay.
because turning Cody here doesn't make much sense because
It does.
it pretty much renders Cena's turn useless. Because the thing is they were running out of heels to work Cody.
Yeah.
So you created one, the one
Yeah.
that
The one
everyone's been
in one.
asking for.
The one.
The one everyone's been asking for.
Yeah. It's hard to.
I still am on the John Cena doing the Brian Danielson speed run towards the end of his career,
Yep.
where he basically goes, once I lose this, I'm done,
Yeah.
which kind of telegraphs the rest of the year,
Yeah.
but he'll lose it in December.
Mm-hmm.
Or he doesn't do that and he loses it at SummerSlam.
Possibility too.
But I think Cena wins 17 here.
To be honest, I think Cena does win too, but I'm going to take
The
Cody to
first
be devil's advocate.
listen, at the end of the day, they're just trying to distance themselves from Flair.
Absolutely.
They're just trying to distance themselves from Ric Flair.
100%.
So
Anyway, guys, that is DA Wrestling Predictions. WrestleMania's nights 1 and 2. You let us know what you think in the comments down below here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Or on YouTube, Spotify, as well as Podbean. Follow us on all our socials there at AMP1982. That's my personal one there, guys. Watch out. There's lots of weird stuff on there. Right? D Lions 1991, he's barely on there, but he can be on there sometimes. Right? And DA Wrestling, DA Sports Pod, whichever you want to go for. Follow us on there. We thank you very much. Appreciate it. Doug, any last words?
Well, I mean, the thing is with social media, if someone were to message me or tag me in something, I'll answer you.
Absolutely.
I just don't go out of my way to post things. That being said, I haven't said this in a while, but signing off. We'll catch you down the road.